Guys, this is my 2020 Oscar predictions. Basically, what I'm going to do is go through all the categories and say what I want to win and what I personally think will win. So, starting off is Best Original Screenplay, and the nominees are Knives Out, written by Bryan Johnson, Marriage Story, written by Noah Baumbach, 1917, written by Sam Mendes, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, written by Quentin Tarantino, and Parasite, written by Bong Joon-ho. And what I personally want to win is Knives Out, which I personally think should have gotten more nominations, but for the one it did, it absolutely deserves. It was my favourite screenplay of last year. I loved the quickness to it. But what I think will win is probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, written by Quentin Tarantino. They always give him the Best Original Screenplay Oscar. So, but I really want Knives Out to win, so fingers crossed. Then going on to Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees are The Irishman, written by Stephen Gilligan. Zilligan, I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I'm saying it wrong. Jojo Rabbit, written by Taika Waititi. Joker, written by Todd Phillips. Little Women, written by Greta Gerwig. And The Two Popes, written by Anthony McCartan. And what I want to win and what I think will win is The Irishman. That was my favourite. I really liked that screenplay. It was very intense, and yeah, I think it will win. Moving on to Best Visual Effects, the nominees are Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And what I want to win and what I think will win is Avengers Endgame. You know, like, you could at least give it one Oscar, guys. You know, yeah, the effects are really good, and yeah, that's most definitely gonna win. And then moving on to best original song is "I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away" from Toy Story 4. I'm gonna love me again from Rocketman. I'm standing with you from Breakthrough. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. Stand Up from Harriet, and Stand Up from Harriet. What For me, it comes between Toy Story 4 and Rocketman, and I think Rocketman should personally have gotten more nominations. But what I think will win and what I personally want to win is I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from Toy Story 4. I love all the songs from Toy Story, the Toy Story series. I think they're very emotional, very heartfelt, and yeah, I think this is going to win. Then moving on to Best Music Original Score, nominees are Joker, composed by Hilda Gon. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Little Women, composed by Alexandre Desplat. Marriage Story, composed by Randy Newman. 1917, composed by Thomas Newman. And Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, composed by John Williams. And what I want to win is 1917. I think Thomas Newman is a fantastic composer and he deserves an Oscar. And I love the score for 1917. But what I think will win is either Joker or Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And then moving on to best directing. The nominees are Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. And what I think will win and what I want to win is Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He deserves an Oscar by now, and he's only gonna make 10 movies, so he only has one movie left. And yeah, hopefully I hope he wins for this one. And moving on to Best Cinematography, the nominees are Rodrigo Prieto, I think that's how you say it, for The Irishman, Lawrence Sher for Joker, Jarin Blackshickel, I'm not sure, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but for The Lighthouse, Roger Deakins for 1917, and Robert Richardson for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And what I personally want to win is The Lighthouse. That would have fantastic cinematography, but what I think will win is probably 1917, and that is also fantastic, but I do prefer The Lighthouse a little more. And then moving on to Best Animated Film, the nominees are How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Claws, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. And what I personally want to win is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I think that the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is a fantastic series, and none of the other ones have won, but I think this one should win. But what I think probably will win is probably Toy Story 4. They usually give it to Pixar, but I think they should give it to DreamWorks this time. Then moving on to Best Supporting Actress. The nominees are Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Lorna Dern for Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, I think that's like, I'm not sure how you pronounce the last name, for Little Women, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. And what I want to win, and what I think will win, is Lorna Dern for Marriage Story. She's been getting all the other awards, so yeah, most likely. Then moving on to Best Actor in a Supporting Role, the nominees are Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes, Al Pacino in The Irishman, Joe Pesci in The Irishman, and Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And what I think will win and what I want to win is Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just because he deserves it by now and he was really good in the movie. Moving on to Best Actress in a Leading Role, the nominees are Cynthia Erivo, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong again, for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, Renee Zellweger for Judy. And what I want to win and what I think will win is Scarlett Johansson. She's she's never received a Oscar nomination before this, but I think she's deserving of an Oscar. And then actor in a leading role, the nominees are Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, and Jonathan Pryce in The Two Popes. And what I think will win and what I want to win is Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. He's been winning all the other awards. It's pretty much a lock. He's definitely going to win. Then moving on to the big category, the final category, the Best Picture, and the nominees are Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, and Marriage Story. And this might be an odd pick, but my personal pick, the movie that I enjoyed the most this year, is Ford v Ferrari. I had like the blast of that movie, and I think I want it to win. But what I think probably will win is Joker. That's been like it has the most nominations right now at 11, and it's probably most likely to win. So yeah, that was my thoughts and predictions on the 2020 Oscars. I hope I'm right, and yeah, we'll see.